before, and I want to thank all of you for your food.
I saw you went to the West Side Market the other day.
Oh my gosh, it was so good. I am quarter Polish, and they had so many pierogies there, and I was like, why am I here for breakfast?
I was just telling James and Oliver Phelps that we were talking about pierogi, and all the different kinds that they have. I said you can get buffalo chicken stuffed inside of a pierogi. It's amazing.
They had cannolis with buffalo chicken. So if you're a buffalo chicken fan, get down to the West Side Market.
Sweet and salty.
That's it. You can have you can have sweet buffalo, whatever. You'll have anything in your mouth you want at the West Side Market. Not a commercial. No, it was great. I had great. I mean, I was, you know, part of the reason I love doing cons is I get to go to so many places in the U.S. that I've never been before, and I get to eat my way through them. People are like, "What did you see?" I'm like, "See, what did I eat?" And then I go home and I'm like, "You weren't supposed to have gluten." Whatever.
Besides Cleveland,
What? There's no roasting,
no calories.
A very sleazy extra on a movie told me what happens in the zip code stays in the zip code. Once, and I was like, I didn't know, I was like, because I was really stupid back then. And then I realized, I'm like, that guy was gross. But now I realize if you apply it to food, yeah, that's a good one.
Has there been a favorite meal that you have gone back to that city and you're like, I have to get that again?
Oh man, well everybody knows when you go to a restaurant, the first time you go, you're establishing your pattern for life. All right? And so you're never going to go to that restaurant and be like, I'm going to try the fettuccine when the gnocchi was incredible, right? You're just not going to, you're a fool. So I would say, I mean, I'm just a food hall junkie. So whenever there's a food hall, oh wow. I mean, when I go to Seattle, I always have to go to the original Starbucks, although they're closing it, I hear.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird. Why do I do that? I don't know. Whenever I see a biscuit, I'll have a biscuit. Because I'm from Alabama, and so when I get into a biscuit area, I'm like, give me that biscuits.
Are you definitely comparing biscuits? Like, this one's too dry.
The thing about biscuits is they're always good.
Yeah.
I mean, generally, I've had a bad biscuit, but once you smother it in butter and honey enough, like every biscuit, it's just a honey butter vehicle.
Yeah.
At that point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I mean, I rarely go. You know, when I travel so much, I try to go to different places every time, and so I've been to Columbus, Cleveland, and Cincinnati. All the C's. You guys have a lot of C's in Ohio, right? And not in an insulting way. Yeah, so it's funny how even in just a state, you know, you have such different vibes and stuff. Like Cincinnati, they like to put chili, you know, on spaghetti. And I'm like, that's disgusting. But
Yeah.
you don't like that? No, you're like, we're not playing like that.
You don't, yeah.
Cleveland, you don't do such travesty. No, it's real. Are you from here?
I am Ohio baby.
Oh, Ohio baby.
Raised.
Oh, that's great.
I love it here. I'm like, we don't have to deal with a poisonous snake biting me on the way out of the door.
What's that? Has that happened in another what?
Another city. I was like, I just feel like there's no
What other
alligators.
city has that happened in?
Alligators or anything that I have to worry about.
Okay,
really,
Florida.
You know?
Florida.
I'm like, we really have no worries here. Though our biggest worry is the Browns. And maybe some gloom, you know? You might not get as many sunny days.
Well, I will say I got on the plane and it was 75 and beautiful in Los Angeles. And when I got off the plane at like 9 p.m. at night on Thursday, there was a snowflake and I was horrified. I was resentful. I was like, who told me to do this? Who should have warned me?
Did you bring a jacket?
I did bring a jacket. I did bring one because I looked briefly at the weather and you guys, it was 70 earlier last week.
Yes.
And so I was kind of, what? Yeah. You're sorry it was 70 or you're sorry you ruined it? It's just so happy. Well, I'm from Austin where it was literally 94 last week and then it dropped to 45 in 2 days. And I feel like that's just, yeah, the same thing happens here?
Yeah.
See, I'll tell you, Los Angeles is a little depressing. I've told this a couple people. It's a little depressing now because Hollywood is really messed up. Streaming ruined everything. And fires decimated our city, right? So it's really depressing there right now. And I always am like traveling the world thinking where else would I live? And then I look out the window and I'm like, oh, it's 75 throughout the year. I don't have to deal with those nasty seasons. Yes, it's expensive, but weather. So I really don't know where else I want to live because I'll pay a premium on the weather because you guys have to deal with coats. I don't like it, all right? It's heavy.
You See, and I think that the gloomy days really make me appreciate the sunny ones here in Cleveland.
Okay.
And I'm like, wow, it's so beautiful here, and that's when you're, to me, you can't have the good days without the bad.
Oh, I want all good. I get so depressed. I don't know, seasonal affective disorder or something like that. You have to get a special light. My brother actually has a special light that uses about it, and I'm like, I can bet it by paying $20 for a burger, okay?
It's getting to be that expensive around here too. If you want a
Yeah.
gourmet burger, a lot of places are between that $15 and $20 range now.
I know.
That's the thing.
And then I was in Krakow. I went to Poland because I have family there. I discovered after my grandmother passed away. I'm quarter Polish. I went there and I found my mother's second cousin. I met them, and that was fine. But the food, you can get a huge cup of pierogi for like $2.
Wow.
I ate pierogi like the whole, like it was like mid-meal pierogi. Like it was like a brunch pierogi between breakfast and lunch. Needless to say, I did need to work out when I came home, but I loved it. So yeah, when you go to another country, you're like, oh, the relative. But again, it was cold there. I had to wear a sweater and a coat. It was bad. So listen, we trade off and we live where we need to live, and yeah, it's good. But what I love, again, it's just discovering the United States. Like every state has a different flavor, every city has a different vibe, and you know, it's a beautiful country. Yeah, I love my country.
And overseas, they can visit so many different places, and they're like, well, I'm in a new country right now.
Yeah, but
and
listen,
here,
yes.
us in the United States, we have so much variety.
So much variety.
And you're really kind of in a different country when you go to Alabama.
Somebody told me they were from Buffalo at my table earlier, and I was like, that's far, and it wasn't that far. And I was like, wait, New York isn't far? Because I've never lived on the East Coast. It's just not, I've never done it, and I lived in the South and the West. And so like the idea that you can get to another state in an hour is kind of like, I've never been north of Boston. Like what's up there? Who knows? I'll get there one day. Yeah, I need Comic-Con, Maine. Get me up there.
Well, you have been in some of our favorite fandoms. For me, Ghoulie Yelps and Monster High.
Oh, yes, thank you. I love doing that part.
Poppy Klein and the Magicians. If you haven't watched The Magicians,
Magicians fans here.
I read the books. I read the books. Love them.
Can you believe that my character, spoiler alert, was the queen in the books, but in the show, I did not get to be the queen, and I was pissed off.
Still, I wish they would have kept going with that.
It's okay. The lead actor quit the series.
Yeah.
So then it kind of threw a little wrench in the works, but it was still an amazing. And the funny thing was, people don't know this, that Sarah Gamble, who was the showrunner on Magicians, who hired me on Magicians, also hired me on Supernatural. She was the showrunner when Charlie was written and got me to get on the show. She actually, Robbie Thompson, the writer who mainly wrote my character, and invented my character. He basically wrote himself and then renamed it Charlie. And he was like, he wrote it for a Felicia Day type. And Sarah was the one who was like, should we try to get Felicia Day? He was like, you can do that? Thank God. Because if some other lady played Charlie, I would beat her up. It's my character.
It's kind of like Betty in Adventure Time.
Yes, I did that one. Yep.
That character reminds me so much of you. I mean, the fact that it's just such a great combination of who you are.
But the first 2 episodes I didn't do, it was Lena Dunham. And so when people Google Betty, Adventure Time, it goes to a Wikipedia entry on the first episode that introduced Betty, where Lena Dunham played it. So people don't actually know that I did almost all the episodes except for those first 2. If you work for Wikipedia, fix it. Okay? Because it pisses me off. I'm like, she's great. She did a great job. Yeah, I know, but it should be clear that the character, there should be a Wikipedia entry on the character, not just the episode. And I need all the credit on the character. Let's work on that.
You did a great job.
Thank you.
Loved it.
It was beautifully written. My part in Fiona and Kate was probably, I've cried 2 times. Okay, 3 times I've cried when I got material. In Dr. Horrible, when Penny, spoiler alert, passed away. Thank you so much. Gilmore's 2, I did a DLC last year, but the writing was so good I cried. And then the Fiona and Kate, when I was reading Betty and the Ice King. It's just beautiful. That love story was so beautiful. So,
what's it like doing film TV versus animation voices? What are the differences and what are the similarities? What are the things that share?
They don't share a lot except you're acting and you're somebody else. I learned this the hard way. I got offered a lot of video game roles early in my career because I did the Guild, and people were like, oh, she's cool, let's give her a part. And I wasn't really as polished as I could have been in voice acting because it's completely different from on-camera acting. And so the journey from starting that and then being determined to get better at it and train myself and do more and more of it and get better and better and better has been a big journey and something I'm really proud of because voice acting is so rewarding and fun, and you can do it from your house and don't have to do your hair, which is always a bonus for me. And also you could be something very different from yourself, which you can't really do on camera. But on-camera acting is just, you're using your whole body. You can convey things with a look versus just your voice. And so it's a very different tool set you use on camera. And I enjoy both of them. I really love doing both. It's just different skills. And you have to appreciate how different they are when you're training and when you're doing it. Otherwise, I think we've all probably heard an on-camera actor doing, like a famous on-camera actor doing a voice, and it's like, oh, that was fine. But like a professional voiceover actor would have brought a lot more nuance, and I think that's something, because you only have your voice to convey all feeling and emotion, and if there's a look, it's the director putting it in, not you. And so you're in charge of your voice. Versus, I've had, especially on the Gill when I was editing, I will steal a look of somebody before we're even rolling and use it in there, because it was like, oh, that's the piece of reaction that I want, even though they didn't do it in the place that I would, So, it's, I love performing, and in this day and age, you can do a little bit of everything, and that's what I love.
When I first started working